Take a close look at this image. A young woman, standing in the middle of a crowded street at night. Bright neon lights, people laughing, phones out taking pictures. It looks like a party. And in a way, it is. This was taken during Halloween in China. But now look at her. She's not dressed as a witch. She's not dressed as a vampire. She turned herself into a resume.
A human résumé.
Cardboard wrapped around her body, covered in text. Every inch of it, trying to sell herself. Let's zoom in. At the top, in big bold Chinese characters, it says, top-tier corporate slave, seeking employment. That word, corporate slave, in Chinese slang, people say neuma. It literally means cow and horse, animals used for labor. That's how young people describe themselves. Now read the details. 31 years old, female, bachelor's degree from a 211 university. That already tells you something. She feels the need to justify her existence with credentials. Then comes the line that makes people stop. Unmarried, but sterilized. Think about that. She is standing in public, in a crowded nightlife street, telling strangers, I cannot have children. Why? Because in the Chinese job market, for many women, having children is seen as a liability. Companies don't want the risk. They don't want maternity leave. They don't want interruption. So what is she doing here? She's exaggerating that logic to the point of absurdity, saying, if that's what you care about, I'll remove the problem completely. Now keep reading. Her work experience section says things like, no employment gaps, available anytime, can work until midnight, can handle high intensity. There's even a line implying that being pushed out at 35 is acceptable. Think about that. She's not just applying for a job. She's pre-accepting being discarded. Then the skills section, design, UI, editing, 3D, copywriting, PowerPoint, AI tools, English. It just keeps going. Feels endless. Because that's the expectation. One person is supposed to do everything and still not complain. Now look at the bottom. This is the most important line. Life is a wilderness, but the company turned it into a prison. And then, I've decided, I will work, and work overtime. That sentence tells you everything. There used to be a popular phrase in China, life is a wilderness, not a track. Meaning you are free, you can choose your path. But she rewrites it, not a wilderness, not freedom, prison. And in that prison, you don't escape, you work, and you work overtime. Now zoom out again. Look at where she is. A nightlife district, bars, lights, music, people dressed up having fun. And right there in the middle of it, she's standing still, holding a smaller printed resume in her hand, like she's ready to hand it to anyone. People around her are smiling. Some are amused. Some are curious. To them, it's a costume, something creative, something funny. But here's the uncomfortable question. Why does this feel so real? Why does this costume look exactly like reality? Because behind this image is a very real system. In China, there's something people call the 35-year-old barrier. Once you reach your mid-30s, many companies start filtering you out. Not officially, not openly, but in practice it happens everywhere. Too old, too expensive, too hard to control. And for women, the pressure starts even earlier. So what do people do? They adapt. They optimize themselves. They remove anything that could be seen as a risk, even if it means reducing themselves to a list of functions. There's also the work culture. You may have heard of 996, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., 6 days a week, 72 hours. But in reality, it's often more than that. People stay online after work, answer messages at night, work weekends, Your time is not fully yours. And over time, something changes. People stop describing themselves as individuals. They start using words like nyoma, work animals, not as an insult, as a joke. But jokes like this don't come from nowhere. They come from pressure, from exhaustion, from a system that constantly asks for more. That's why this image is so powerful, because it compresses everything into one visual moment. A young woman,
À cardboard résumé.
a crowd watching, and a line that says, "My life is a prison, and I will keep working." This is not a protest. She's not shouting. She's not resisting. She's cooperating perfectly. And that's what makes it disturbing. Because when people start to perform their own dehumanization, not as tragedy, but as humor, that's when you know something deeper is happening. So yes, this was taken on Halloween, a night where people pretend to be something they're not. But in this case, the costume might be closer to the truth than anyone wants to admit. I am Lino. This channel explores the reality of China beyond the headlines. If you want to understand the China you don't see, subscribe.